You see this shit? I'm back here freezing my fucking dick off delivering packages like fucking Santa Claus. And someone is on a beach because of this credit play. Watch this.
Let's be real, trying to pick a credit card for 2026 can feel overwhelming. There are so many offers, so many rules, it's a lot of noise. So you know what? We're gonna cut right through it. In the next few minutes, we're building a super simple, really powerful strategy from the ground up. And it all starts with a question I bet you've asked yourself before. This is it, isn't it? The holy grail, the one perfect card that does everything for everyone. We all want that simple answer. But what if I told you that's completely the wrong question to be asking? Seriously, the idea of one single best card is a total myth. I mean, think about it. The best card for someone who travels for work every week is going to be totally useless for a student trying to build credit. It's all about you and what you need. So let's try a different approach, a better one. It's called the Jobs to be Done framework. Stop thinking about your wallet as just a stack of plastic. Instead, picture it as a toolbox. And each card, it's a specialized tool you hire to do a very specific financial job. The goal isn't to have the most tools, it's to have the right tools for the jobs you actually need done. So here's how we're gonna build that toolbox. First, we'll figure out what the job is. Then we'll look at the best tools for the job, whether that's what I call a debt demolisher, an everyday earner, or a travel hacker. And finally, we'll put it all together so you can build your own perfect strategy. Okay, let's get into it. The most important thing to remember is this. Your card strategy has to start with your goals. What do you need a card to do for you right now? And for a lot of people, the most urgent job has absolutely nothing to do with earning points or miles. Nope. It's about fighting this number, 24%. Let that sink in. That's right around the average credit card APR these days. If you're carrying a balance at that rate, it's like trying to swim upstream against a massive current. You're just not going to get ahead. And trust me, no amount of cashback can ever make up for that. This leads us to the first and most important job. So meet our first tool, the debt demolisher. Look, if you have high interest debt, this is your #1 priority, period. The job of this card is brutally simple. Stop the bleeding. It's here to save you a ton of money on interest, so every single dollar you pay actually goes to chipping away at your debt. And the best tool for that job is a balance transfer card. It's pretty straightforward. You move your debt from that high interest card over to a brand new one that charges you 0% interest for a while. Now, it's not totally free. You'll usually pay a one-time fee, maybe 3 to 5% of what you move. But compare that small fee to paying 24% year after year. It's an absolute no-brainer. And just look at the power of this specialist tool. A card like the US Bank Shield is designed for one thing and one thing only, to give you the longest possible runway to become debt-free. We're talking 24 months. That's 2 full years at 0% APR. That is a massive deal when most cards only offer 12 or 18 months. Yeah, the 5% fee's a little higher, but that's a tiny price for 2 years of breathing room. But, and this is a huge but, you have to be disciplined. This tool comes with a warning label. The goal here is to kill the interest for good, not just put it off. You absolutely need a plan to pay off that entire balance before the 0% offer ends. If you don't, that high interest rate comes roaring back and you're in the same boat as before. So set those calendar reminders, automate your payments, whatever it takes. All right, so once the debt is gone, or if you're lucky enough to have none, we move on to the foundation of any good wallet. This is the everyday earner. The job here is super simple. Get paid back for the money you're already spending on groceries, gas, you name it. Now, when it comes to earning cash back, you've basically got 2 paths, and it really just depends on your personality. On one hand, you've got the simple catch-all approach. This is for people who want one great card that earns a solid rate on everything, no thinking required. On the other hand, you have the category optimizer. This is for those of you who don't mind juggling a couple of cards to really maximize every dollar. So for that simple catch-all strategy, a card like the Wells Fargo Active Cash is pretty much perfect. It's just so easy. You get an unlimited 2% cash back on every single thing you buy. No categories to keep track of, no spending caps, no annual fee. You just swipe it for everything and get 2% back. It's a fantastic foundation. But if you're an optimizer, this is where it gets fun. You can build a little 2-card combo. So you'd use the Citi Custom Cash as your dedicated gas card, since it automatically gives you 5% back on your top spending category. Then for groceries and all that online shopping, you'd pull out the Amex to get 3%. By using the right tool for the right purchase, these 2 cards, both with no annual fee by the way,
can easily earn you more than a single 2% card. Okay, so for everyone who's ready to graduate to the next level, let's talk about the travel hacker. This job is all about turning your everyday spending into actual experiences. Now, this is where annual fees usually come into play, but don't let that scare you. If you play your cards right, the math can work out big time in your favor.
Let's take the American Express Gold Card, for example. That $325 annual fee seems like a lot, right? But here's the secret. The credits. The card gives you monthly credits for Uber, for dining at places like Grubhub, and a bunch of other services. If you already use these things anyway, the credits alone can give you back over $400 a year, which means they're literally paying you to have the card. And that's before you even get to the points. This card earns a ridiculous 4 points per dollar at restaurants and supermarkets. And here's the key. When you redeem those points for travel, they can be way more valuable than just cash back. All of a sudden, your weekly grocery bill isn't just getting you a few bucks back. It's funding a big chunk of your next vacation. So, we've walked through the different jobs a card can do, demolishing your debt, earning you money every day, and hacking travel. Now, let's put it all together. The key is to be intentional and to build your wallet piece by piece over time. Think of this as your personal roadmap. Step 1 is the only one that matters if you have high-interest debt. Get a debt demolisher. That's it. Nothing else matters. Once that debt is under control, then you move to step 2 and you build your cashback foundation, either with that simple catch-all or the optimizer duo. And only then, once your finances are rock solid, should you think about step 3 and adding a travel card to your toolbox. And that brings us right back to where we started. A truly great credit card strategy has nothing to do with having a thick wallet full of cards. It's about having maybe 2, 3, or 4 cards that are each chosen for a very specific purpose. It is always, always about the right cards, not more cards. So, I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. As you look toward 2026, what's the #1 job your wallet needs to do for you right now? Is it to demolish debt? To earn you simple cash back? Or is it to help you see the world? Answering that one question, that's your first step.